Good morning, everybody. How is everyone doing? Blinked for a second. Don't know what that was about. Today we are doing large mammals from Asia. Yeah. So, nobody's on, but that's okay. It's fine. Not gonna panic. So we're going to be looking at and talking about some of the large mammals from Asia. And I don't have a lot of them to share with you. I do have some. But yeah. Let's get into it a little bit. But before I do that, let's go over, because it is Tuesday, let's go over our facts from the channel this week, our weekly recap. So last week I got 3 videos and 3 shorts and 1 live stream and 2 posts. 1.6 thousand K number of people tuned in. We had 5 new subscribers. Welcome you, all of you. KJ, I can't see all of my new subscribers. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. Again, the top 3 videos for some reason. Hello, person. I don't know who you are. Please say hello. You watched, according to what I got, Whale Tales, Organism of the Week, Giant Squid, and 2 groups of whales. Seems like it's the same videos every week. I got 14 likes, 5 shares, and 3 comments. The top video of the week was Whale Tales. And you're gone. Okay. Okay, so getting into the meat of the matter, more or less, we have a huge amount of animals that we're going to be looking at today. I hate to say it, but they're all going to be the figures that I have. And yeah, we're just going to go with it and have some fun, hopefully. That's the idea anyway. We're going to do things a little bit differently because a lot of these large mammals are actually endangered. So we're going to do this off of sort of look at it as if they are endangered. And hopefully learn a little bit of something along the way. So the first one we're going to talk about is the oopsie. I'm going to disappear for a second. Just for a second. Gotta get the light on. I forgot that. Okay, so this is the Asian elephants. It's one of the larger mammals that live in Asia. They are listed as endangered. Population trend has them actually on the decrease, which is not really cool. These guys are threatened by residential development, agriculture, energy production, mining, transportation, service corridors. So roads pose a threat. Biological resource use, meaning their people might be going for the ivory of the tusk. Natural system modifications, in other words, dams, ecosystem change. Invasive species, I don't know how much of that plays into it. And climate change and severe weather. But definitely poaching and also the illegal trade in elephants is a thing, apparently. So, one of the things that you can tell the difference between the big African elephants is the size of the ears. They do have smaller ears. The trunk, the tusk. Another animal from Asia. If I can pull it up. We're going to try. Is the, and I don't know if it'll pull it up or not because animals change names like crazy. Sometimes it seems like. At any rate, this is the Indian rhino. It has one horn, unlike the African elephants. Or, I did not just do that. Unlike the African rhinos, it has one horn, and it has armor, which really is not showing up. There you can sort of see it. So these guys, again, they have the same sort of disadvantages that the African rhinos have. They have a really poor sense of sight, but their hearing and smelling is really good. I believe females are solitary from the males. This is a protected species. but for some reason I'm just not getting pretty large sized animal. Asia or India, Nepal is home to those. Another animal is the Bactrian camel. This camel is famous for the two humps. They come from Mongolia. They're a cold desert animal, so they tend to have thicker fur during the winter. You can see these in zoos. Some zoos do carry these. I don't have the exact number on these. We actually have some information on them, maybe. So, unfortunately, these guys are critically endangered. Numbers are decreasing. There are somewhere around 950 mature individuals. And they have sort of pocket habitats where they live, which is not really cool. Cheetahs in Asia are not, it's not really well known, but it is there. These cats are going to be found basically in the Mideast. Is my understanding. We're not going to be looking at them in Asia. Basically, we're going to be looking at them more out there. They are pretty much extinct in some areas. They're considered a vulnerable, I can't say that word, a vulnerable species. They are decreasing. They have somewhere around 6,517 species. And like I said, they are pretty much extinct in the wild. And places. Arabia, India, they would have been in India at one time. They are no longer there. So, yeah. The next one is one of my favorites. This is the clouded leopard. Now, clouded leopards are not, they're not a leopard. We call them leopards, but they are not leopards. They are actually, their closest relatives are some of the Similodons, I believe. I could be wrong. Let's see what we know about their populations. These guys are a super arboreal cat. They like to be up in the trees, hunting for food, whatever. And they're a pretty cool cat. They do have a nice long tail that they're going to use for balance. They can go up and down trees. They have the largest canines of any wild cat. Leopards. Now, leopards are interesting because these guys can live in multiple habitats, ranging from rainforest to urban settings. They are known to go after dogs in some cities. They range from Africa all the way to India and maybe beyond India. and they will sometimes attack people. Reindeer. Now notice I don't call it caribou. Caribou basically is a North American name. These guys are found across Europe into Siberia or the northern limits of Russia. And in some places they are even domesticated. The Sumatran rhino and the Javan rhino are endangered. They tend to have hair. That's what this is representing. These are smaller rhinos compared with the larger Asian rhino or even the African rhinos. And at least the Sumatran has 2 horns. There are at least 3 species of this next animal. This is the orangutan. These guys are basically, again, arboreal apes. The sexes live in groups. I'm getting things wrong today, and that does not make me happy. This is the orangutan, of course, and there are 3 species. The Tapinola, Bornean, and Sumatran. And I believe this is the Borneo orangutan. These guys, the sexes live separate except for during mating. And believe it or not, they are not only endangered because of habitat loss, but also because people will kill the females to get to the young, which are put into the pet trade. So that is very, very bad. I don't like to see that. And a lot of people don't know this, but there were lions in Asia. There is a pocket of them now in India. They were in Israel, the Middle East, and have basically been hunted out. Another animal that actually is, you'll see in zoos, is the babirusa. This is a pig that lives on the islands of, I believe, Indonesia. They have these really cool tusks or teeth that actually come up out of the snout, as well as tusks that come up. They are a sort of a, hello, how are you? This is the, like I said, the babirusa, and they are a pig. They're a tropical pig. Definitely an animal that is really cool. Tigers. Tigers are interesting because there are multiple different subspecies. So you might have a Siberian tiger or the Amur tiger. That is the tiger that lives actually in Russia. Then there are the Bengal tigers, and the Bengal tigers, there are many subspecies, some of which are no longer with us, some of which are endangered. This guy is, I believe, the Bengal, and they are found throughout Southeast China. I'm giving up. They are found throughout Southeast Asia, including parts of China. Many species or subspecies are now critically endangered, or at least endangered. Snow leopards. You're going to find these guys in Tibet, Nepal, basically the Himalayas, down into China. I don't know if they're really considered to be a leopard, but that's what we call them. They also have sort of a longer tail, thicker tail than, say, a regular leopard. Their coloration is so that they can hide amongst the rocks found in Tibet and in the Himalayas, basically. They are going to be feeding on wild goats, various small mammals that might live there, and they are experts at living within that area. The giant panda. This is, of course, the symbol of China. We used to think that they weren't originally, when I was a kid, listed as a bear, but they have since been reclassified and they are now listed as a bear. Very interesting animal. They primarily feed on bamboo, but they may also take some of the insects that live on the bamboo. So, and also endangered. So that's the thing. The Provoski's horse. Now, this is an interesting one because they are slowly being reintroduced into, I believe, Mongolia. They were once found as far to the west as Spain. They have been found on cave paintings, but have since gone extinct in those areas, perhaps because of pressure from hunting by people, or I don't know, climate change, whatever. But they are now basically surviving because they are in captivity. Gibbons are another, I wouldn't say that they're a large mammal, but they are definitely one of the more interesting species in that they live basically in the treetops. Their calls can be heard for miles around. That's going to be for territory, whatever. So, yeah, kind of interesting. That basically ends live next Friday. We are going to be starting our scary stuff. We're going to be doing animal superstitions. So, we're going to be talking about black cats and other bizarre and scary things relating to that. So, animal myths and superstitions on Friday at 5 p.m. I wish we could get more people coming in. Yeah. I don't have any questions that have popped up. So we're going to see if anything popped up on Facebook. No. So I think I'm going to sign off because I've already done my thing here. So I will talk to you peeps later. Goodbye.